Good day, class. I am Jovisal Maginay, and you can call me Teacher Jovisal. In this session, I want you to listen carefully and participate attentively, for I am going to discuss a new interesting topic to all of you. So, are you ready? What is ribosomes? Ribosome or ribosomes in plural are also called pelade granules, are molecular machines found within all cells that perform biological protein synthesis. Ribosomes links amino acid together in order to specify by the codons of messenger RNA molecules to form a polypeptide chains. The ribosomes is the complex made of protein and RNA and which adds up the numerous millions Dalton in size and assumes an important part in the course of decoding the genetic message reserved in the genome into protein. But where can we find ribosomes in the cell? Ribosomes are mainly found bound to the endoplasmic reticulum and nuclear envelope, as well as freely scattered throughout the cytoplasm. Depending upon whether the cell is plant, animal, or bacteria, the organelle serves as the protein production machinery for the cell and are consequently most abundant in cells that are active in protein synthesis, such as pancreas and brain cells. Some of the protein synthesis by ribosomes are for the cell's own internal use, especially those that are produced by free ribosomes. Many of the proteins produced by bound ribosomes, however, are transported outside the cell. This time, let's move on to the structures of ribosomes. Ribosomes are made up of protein and ribonucleic acid, abbreviated as RNA, in almost equal amounts. It comprises of two sections known as subunits, the small subunit and the big or large subunit. The tinier subunit is the place where the mRNA bind and it decodes, whereas the bigger subunit is the place the amino acids are included. Both subunits comprises of both ribonucleic acid and protein components and are linked to each other by interaction between the protein and in one subunit and the RNAs in other subunits. The ribonucleic acid is obtained from one nucleolus at the point where the ribosomes are arranged in the cell. In addition, with the structures of the ribosome, which include situated in two areas of the cytoplasms, scattered in the cytoplasm, and few are connected to the endoplasmic reticulum. Whenever joined to the endoplasmic reticulum, they are called the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Free and the bound ribosomes are very much alike in structures and associated with protein synthesis. And around 73 or 62% of RNA is comprises of RNA and the rest is proteins. In prokaryotic cell, there are 70 ribosomes, respectively subunits comprisingly the little subunit of 30 and the bigger subunit of 50. Eukaryotes have 80 ribosomes respectively, comprising the little 40, which is 40, and the substantial, which has 60 in subunits. Ribosomes seen in the chloroplast of mitochondria of the eukaryotes are comprises of big and little subunits composed of protein inside the 70 particles. So now let's move on to the function of the ribosome. When it comes to the main function of the ribosomes, they assume the role of bringing together amino acids to form particular proteins, which are important in completing the cell activities. So protein is required for numerous cell functions, for example, directing chemical processes or fixing the damaged ribosomes. Can yet be discovered floating inside the cytoplasm or joined in the endoplasmic reticulum. The other function of the ribosomes include procedure of creating of proteins, The ribonucleic acid makes mRNA or the messenger RNA by the step of DNA transcription. So in our lesson, in our past lesson, we have discussed how the central dogma of molecular biology and the DNA transcription and the transfer of the DNA. Heredity information from the mRNA is converted into proteins amidst DNA translation. So, and also the arrangement of protein assembly amidst of protein synthesis are indicated in the mRNA. The RNA is arranged to the nucleus and is moved to cytoplasm for the additional operation of protein synthesis. Next is protein which are arranged by the ribosomes currently in the cytoplasms are utilized inside the cytoplasm itself. The protein created by the bound ribosomes are moved outside the cell. So taking into consideration their function in developing proteins, it is clear that a cell can function in the absence of ribosomes. So ribosome plays an important part in synthesizing the protein in the cell and producing the DNA information and transmitting and transcription and also the translation of the information. So in general, the ribosome is universally responsible for synthesizing proteins by translating the genetic codes transcribed in mRNA into an amino acid sequence. Ribosomes use cellular accessory proteins, soluble transfer RNA, and metabolic energy to accomplish the initiation, elongation, and termination of peptide synthesis. So that ends my discussion for today. Thank you for listening and see you tomorrow. Goodbye, class.